Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy T-Dub with that news you absolutely cannot refuse unless you're a dumbass. The heavyweight division is lit. So many pieces are moving around. People you thought were going to be one place are now in another. Guys, this is your boy T-Dub with Breazeale Sports. Back at it like a crack addict, giving you boxing geekers this work. Look at this, man. Look at this layout. Fury and possibly Dillian Whyte could both be on ESPN. And both of those moves literally came out of nowhere. Abracadabra. Poof. The heavyweight division right now is full of surprises. We thought Fury was fighting Deontay Wilder. Ha ha, motherfucker, gotcha. Put a rug under us, went to ESPN. Dillian Whyte, who has let it be known that he wasn't as happy, and I know he came to the USA. Lots of videos about him meeting with Al Heyman as a potential. He said that he wanted to check out his options. And now we know that one of those options was Top Rank. And now he could be possibly moving to ESPN. You see how it's moving around, man? You see that? It's like I said earlier. It's been like a football draft pick. You got Dillian Whyte, who we thought that was going to be with Team Matchroom. Suddenly looks like he's going to Team Top Rank, ESPN, the rival network of DAZN. I'm not quite sure if DAZN is quite a rival yet, at least a on the same level. They are moving fast to try to get to their level. And then you have Klitschko. Klitschko looks like he is coming back. I know they said that reportedly DAZN has offered Klitschko $40 million guaranteed, some stock within DAZN, 3-fight deal. One of those fights being Joshua and possibly Tyson Fury. I don't know how they're going to do the Fury fight yet, especially if DAZN going to cite him. I don't know how that's going to work, because Klitschko doesn't have a title. Fury doesn't have a physical title. Nothing can really be ordered, mandated, or go to a purse bid. That's the thing about Tyson Fury. The linear title doesn't have any restrictions or orders. He can never be forced into making a fight. If Deontay Wilder did not have a belt, and he was a mandatory for Anthony Joshua, at some point he's going to be forced to make a fight or go to a purse bid. Some point. Tyson Fury doesn't face that. He doesn't have a physical belt. He has a linear title. And he's with ESPN. Dillian Whyte was set to fight Ortiz, right? Not Ortiz. Oh, no. Hell no. I'm sorry about that. There's no way he's going to fight Ortiz. I'm sorry. I misspoke. I'm at work in my car, watching the clock, watching the time, and still talking. I do mess up. A lot. Dillian Whyte was in talks to fight Dominic Breazeale. When Fury put a rug on Wilder had to go put a rug on Dillian Whyte and fight is mandatory. I did a video, so many of them. I encourage you guys to go check out the videos, watch the ones you want. I did a video basically calling the domino effect in so many words. You know, how one person pulling out affect multiple fighters. And now, Dylan Whyte, who I don't believe is so happy with Eddie Hearn, because he said, listen, Eddie just needs to make it happen. And I believe, honestly, in this case, Eddie was doing what he could. But Eddie doesn't control Fury. And then when Fury pulled out, Eddie doesn't control Deontay Wilder, who needs to fight, who can always fight as mandatory. And now that the WBC has ordered that fight between between Dominique Breazeale and Deontay Wilder, Dylan Whyte doesn't have a fight. The most obvious answer for Dylan Whyte that was even presented on a poll after it was done is to fight Luis Ortiz, the old man. And here's the thing. People call Ortiz 45, 55, 99, but they won't fight him. And here's Klitschko, who we know is older than Luis Ortiz. But they'll fight him. They didn't even mention age when talking about him. They didn't mention he's been retired for 2 years, coming off a loss. That was another 2 years, coming off another loss. 4 years, 2 losses. Hasn't fought in 2 years. They're not talking about that. They're not talking about that. They give him credit. That's a valuable fight. I'll fight him. Fight Ortiz. Hell no, he's old. Hell no, he's on crutches. No. Who has he fought? Well, better question is, who hasn't he fought that wants to fight him? Name the people that he hasn't fought that wanted to fight him. They said, I want that Ortiz smoke. Give me that premium Cuban cigar. I want it, and I want it now. It's my money, and I want it now. I don't remember that. Our Red Sox fans in the building. What I do? Our Red Sox. Say hello, listening from work. All is well. Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Shout out to our Red Sox fans who calls a hell of a game, man. Check them out. If you're into listening to games being called, played out, watching right in front of you, check out Al. And my boy, the St. Louis own Ancestral Rage. We all know no one wants to lose Ortiz. They don't, man. They don't want to fight Ortiz. Even though in his last fight, he didn't look that good. They don't want to fight him. This is the best time to fight Ortiz. Ortiz has been fighting like a madman. He is going to be 40 this year. I mean, not this year, this month. He's going to be 40 this month. He fought 4 times in the last year. And nowadays, we got fighters only fighting twice. Look at Canelo. Twice. So many other fighters. Twice. The oldest man that you guys are calling damn near cripple, he's fighting. He fought 4 times in a year. No rest, no break. This is the best time to fight him because his body needs to heal. And if you fight him again in 3 or 4 months, that's his 5th fight in a row with no downtime. This is the best time to fight him. But they won't. I'm telling you right now, man, the heavyweight division is like Elvis Presley. It's all shook up. It is completely all shook up. Eddie Hearn, guys, you see him in the bottom right-hand corner on the picture right there. I know if you're at work, you probably can't look, but I got his picture. Eddie Hearn is probably thinking, like, what the F is going on? Like, how come I didn't land Tyson Fury? How come I didn't get Fury to fight either Joshua or Wilder to fight Joshua? How come I've been doing business with Dylan Whyte for years? How come I wasn't able to ink a deal with him? But goddammit, ESPN is close to locking him in. I mean, it's a lot going on in the heavyweight division right now, man. Deontay Wilder, Dominique Breazeale. Anthony Joshua, Klitschko, the return of Klitschko, Dylan Whyte probably making a move to ESPN. It's like LeBron James took his talent to South Beach, right? It looks like the UK, a lot of UK fighters are taking their talent to the USA. Anthony Joshua fighting in the USA. Dylan Whyte fighting in the USA. Tyson Fury fighting in the USA. Those are 3 fighters that are UK. Probably the most popular 3 UK fighters right now. All taking their talent to US soil. Joshua, who did not want to fight Deontay Wilder, was not even open to fighting Deontay Wilder. First fight in the USA, it had to be the UK. Guess what? That has changed. Now they're saying 60-40 split. We will fight the first fight in USA, second fight in the UK. Let's see. Back to the chat room. Guys, I got this horrible. Let me see if I can squint on this. Let's see if I can adjust the light a little bit. Nope, almost bright. Let's see. My boy, let me see. Ortiz is too dangerous and not enough money. That's what I think they look at. Hello, Rage. He's the one who has gotten frozen. Now, Klitschko, AJ Whyte, and Fury. Yes, it is. We all thought we were getting Fury and Wilder too, and nope, ESPN threw a wrench in it. You know what, listen, ESPN threw their hat in there. It's like this here, man. Top Rank / ESPN, they was fishing. They were just POFing. Plenty of fish. They threw their pole out there, threw some money on it, and they were seeing would Fury bite. Oh shit, I got a big one. And they reeled him in. And they said, God damn, we got Fury. Let's put a little bit more bait back on our pole while the fish are biting. And they start dangling that bait right in front of Dylan Whyte. Holy shit. Hey, we got a nibble. See, right now, it is an all the way sign. So you're getting a nibble right now. Right now, you're getting a nibble. Basically means that the fish hasn't completely took the bait yet, but he's nibbling at the bait. You can see the tip of your rod. Just tap, bend, but he's not taking it yet. And if any of you guys fishing, you got to wait until he takes the bait in order to really set that hook. Otherwise, you're just pulling it out of his mouth. You see that? Read that. Guys, I appreciate it. This is the 3rd time I went live today from work. Anytime I get a moment, I am stepping away, giving you guys this work the best way I know how. You know what? I think I'm going to take a full lunch today. I was going to take 15 minutes, but since I got an option, I'm not working through my lunch. And for whatever reason, while I'm talking, my right hand went numb. So I'm sitting here talking, and I'm flicking my right hand to shake the numbness out. It's not going anywhere. But the heavyweight division, man. There's so much. I'm going to say this. I'm happy we do got action in the heavyweight division. For a long time. Believe it or not, the division that held boxing down was the welterweight division. And that was almost directly from Floyd Mayweather fighting, and then the thought that he can lose to Manny Pacquiao. And then while we was watching that, we had Cotto, Shane Mosley, Morgachito, Danny Garcia moving up, Devin Alexander, Andre Berto, Victor Ortiz. That division was hot. We had other division that had some players, but that was the division. And it's still hot to this day. But man, I'm telling you, the heavyweight division, when have we did this much talk about the heavyweight division? And, of course, me, I'm like, I like it. the heavyweight division was almost forgotten about. When it was just the Klitschko's, nobody didn't care. I'm not lying. Because not only was it just the Klitschko's, a lot of people was not a fan of their styles, but they had no competition. There was no names. It was a bunch of C+, a lot of D-, and some F fighters. That was up there. And then the emerge of Tyson Fury started making a name. Deontay Wilder, who I remember when I first started watching Deontay Wilder, I was like, it was at a time to where the USA was actively trying to find a heavyweight. They were taking all these football players, trying to build them up, but they kept failing the test. They'll build them up, they will fail the test. Build them up, fail the test. Deontay Wilder wasn't a football player, but he came from nowhere. Started boxing damn near 20 years old. Skinny kid. But I remember the first fight I watched. I can't remember how I caught that fight. But man, he knocked somebody silly. I'm like, ooh, shit. I'm like, this kid he's lacking fundamentals. But goddamn, he has a fucking Happy Gilmore for a right hand. And then we start hearing about Anthony Joshua. After Tyson Fury had to give up the belts, Anthony Joshua was young. I was like, God damn, man, this Anthony Joshua dude, he is good. And I was saying, you know what? If Deontay Wilder or whoever else want to get him now, they better fight this kid now. I was saying about even Klitschko. Fight him now before he gets good. Because I saw then that Joshua was going to be good. And then, strategically, Eddie Hearn, this is a smart move by him. He strategically collected the belts. If Fury had the belts first, once he had to give up the belts, they were scattered across the universe like infinity stones. And Joshua was overpaying people. The reason, or one of the reasons why Deontay Wilder did not fight, what's my boy name? Charles Martin. Because Charles Martin took the biggest payday. He could have fought Deontay Wilder unified, but there's no way that they would have gave Charles Martin $8.5 million. Anthony Joshua paid Charles Martin, whose biggest payday before then was somewhere between $250,000 and $270,000. They gave this guy who he got the belt, but it's by injury. He got the belt. Everyone knew that he really wasn't a good champion. Paid him $8.5 million to come to the UK to lay down like a slice of bread to put some mayonnaise on. And Joshua built his name. And then, honestly, because we had Joshua beating Klitschko, the rise of Deontay Wilder, the thought that Deontay Wilder can beat Anthony Joshua, Joshua can beat Wilder, that is what brought life, real life. People started watching it, but that brought real life. And then since that brought life, you saw the rise of people that's already been out there, but the people started noticing them more. Dylan Whyte, Ortiz. Now we got people like Big Baby Miller, Adam Konoski. Let's go to the chat. Say, you okay, T-Dub? Numbness in your hand? Hey, I don't know, man. Something crazy. I don't know. It just hit me. It left now, but it just hit me. It says, hit the like button, share, and sub to the best in boxing news. In my opinion, I appreciate it, Al. I definitely give my best, man. I give my all. Yes, he does. He have a Happy Gilmore right hand. Boom! He does, man. And the reason I say that, Al, Happy Gilmore, think about it. He is a Happy Gilmore boxing. Happy Gilmore did not have the best technique. He was not the best putter. Didn't have the best form. But God damn it, if he was just swinging and hit the ball, it was going 400 to 500 yards. Easy. Every time. Deontay Wilder. Now, I'm going to say this. Deontay Wilder does have more. Deontay Wilder is growing. He is athletic. Good reaction. Good jab. And he has a right hand that will send you home quicker than clicking your heels like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. No place like home. No place like home. Well, I'll tell you right now, if you can hit with that right hand by Deontay Wilder, that's a first-class ticket to wherever you desire. Most likely La La Land. You are going to be sleeping. And now look at the heavyweight division. Now, I do want more players to develop. You know, I want the Adam Konoskis to develop. The Ife. You know, Ife is this, this African dude. Hasn't had a lot of fights yet, but he's knocking people out. If you don't know Ife, maybe you've seen the video where the one boxer get in the ring, they go face to face for the last instructions, and then as soon as the bell ring for them to come out fighting, he left the ropes. He walked out the ropes and walked down the long aisle. The guy he was supposed to fight is Ife. You know, you get these players. This is what I like, guys. I can look forward to heavyweight boxing, welterweight boxing, middleweight boxing. Canelo Jacobs. Canelo Triple G3. Demetrius Andrade. Mix him in there. He's a champion. Jermell Charlo, who I think they're trying to freeze him out because he's not with the Zone, and the Zone has a really good foothold on the middleweight division. Demetrius Andrade, they got all the titles. Demetrius Andrade, Daniel Jacobs, he has the title, and Canelo Alvarez. They have all the titles in the middleweight division. And by Jermell Charlo being with PBC, and he is a mandatory for the WBC belt, but as long as, honestly, the WBC is they're gonna give Canelo passes. I'm sorry, they are. They're a Mexican-based company. They support their Mexican fighters. They have a Mexican champion. At the one time they tested Canelo said F the WBC, and he dropped their belt. Ever since he came back and said, I'll fight for your belt, they have been fighting for him. When he got busted for clenbuterol, the WBC fought for him. But yeah, man, overall, boxing is in a great place. Boxing as a whole is in a great place. Think about it. Even the lighter weights. Lopez. Teofimo Lopez. Lomachenko. We got Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr. Manny Pacquiao still doing his thing. Sean Porter fighting this weekend. Gervonta Tank Davis. Look at that, man. Shakur Stevenson. We got Joe Smith versus Bevo in action this weekend. That's the DAZN card. But let's get back to the heavyweight. We talking our talk. God damn it, we might as well walk our walk. Take a stroll with me. Heavyweight division is nice. Think about it, man. Now, even though we are getting a very old Klitschko. See, the reason they're bringing Klitschko back is because of his name. Because he is older than Ortiz. And it's like our Red Sox fans said, shout out to Al. Check him out. He does some boxing talk, but it's majority of gameplay, calling live action. I would definitely prefer him to call for my St. Louis Cardinals. I think he should send a resume in there or send him some videos. But I would say they won't fight Ortiz. High risk, low reward. But you know what? The only reason they consider him a low reward is because they won't fight him. No one. Now, if Ortiz goes out there, and if he fought the Parker, the Pulev, the Takam still has a name, Povetkin, Dylan Whyte, the reward will be there. It will be there. But the simple fact is, these fighters rather take easier roads. Because they know that Ortiz road is like a country gravel road, it's going to be rocky. It's going to be rocky. Guys, do me a favor. Please, if you haven't subscribed, I urge you to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. For everyone that has subscribed and been with me from day one or whichever day you came in and say, you know what, I like this guy, I'm going to subscribe. I thank you. I appreciate it every day. I appreciate it. Smash the like button. If you ain't smashing the like, then you ain't smashing right. That's what she said. But if Dylan Whyte moves to ESPN, that'll be another power move by ESPN. And you already know what's going to happen. They're going to set up not the next fight, maybe not even 2 fights, maybe 3 fights down the line, Dylan Whyte versus Tyson Fury. But before that, before they even have one fight, when Tyson Fury has a fight book and Dylan Whyte has a fight book, or at least coming up, they're going to already start the smack talking. We're on the same network. Let's go. Let's do it. And it's not going to happen. They're going to talk smack to each other, but they're not going to fight. They're going to talk smack to each other, and they're not going to fight. Maybe the third fight, when it's planned to really have the first fight, then it'll happen. But if Dylan Whyte goes to ESPN, to me, this make the Joshua versus Wilder fight happen that much more. It makes the percentage goes up. It makes it goes up. Because Dylan Whyte went to ESPN, Fury at ESPN. Who else is Joshua going to fight? Assuming he beats Miller, who else is he going to fight? Who else? Klitschko? That's an option if he signs with DAZN. Who else? Usyk? That's a small cruiserweight coming up. But if he think about this, if Joshua decides not to fight Wilder, and you want to fight a 44-year-old Klitschko, and then, or you want to fight a cruiserweight, no matter how good he is a cruiserweight, but he's a cruiserweight moving to heavyweight over Deontay Wilder, it's going to look like, smell like, quack like, act like a duck. Which is why I say the percentage of Joshua versus Wilder is going to go up. If Dylan Whyte signs to ESPN, Tyson Fury signs to ESPN, Deontay Wilder can fight anywhere. He is not tied down. He can fight anywhere. He can go over to ESPN and do a 1-fight deal. But they won't do that. Remember, they offer him it was like 5 fights or nothing. What do you mean 5 fights or nothing? No. They think Deontay Wilder won Tyson Fury so fast, so bad, that he would sign 5 fights with them and give up his managers now. According to Shelly Finkel, I don't know that. Shelly said basically they want us to give them Deontay Wilder. They're saying that we step out the way, they take over fully. And they said, no, we're not ready to do that. This is our fighter. But if they want to do a 1-fight deal, 2-fight deal, Wilder can do that. DAZN, 1-fight deal, 2-fight, he can do that. Showtime, PBC, he can do it. Deontay Wilder is the most flexible man in heavyweight right now. He's the wild card. Like, you guys play Pity Pack, or some people might call it Deuces Wild or whatever. Not Deuces Wild, but it doesn't matter. Spades. If you play with the jokers and spades, the joker can trump anything. Or sometimes it can go anywhere. Wilder can be that wild card that can go anywhere. He's like the wild card in Uno. It doesn't matter what's played. That wild card can play on top of it. And as a matter of fact, that wild card can change the color. Color is green. Uno out. Our Red Sox fan says, take care. Yeah, take care too. Appreciate you listening to work. Deontay Wilder can go anywhere. And if he beats Miller, I think the best move for Joshua and the best move for Deontay Wilder is to try to make the fight happen, make fair offers, fair splits, and it doesn't matter if the fight's in the UK or US, they can sort that out. Make it happen next with a two-way rematch clause. If the first fight is in USA, make the second in UK. First fight in UK, make the second in the USA. 2-fight rematch with a third optional. That's what you do. Deontay Wilder finna fight Dominic Breazeale. They're gonna amp that up. We're bringing up the history of them guys having some disagreements and somebody getting hit. Wilder's gonna knock him clean as spark out. Joshua fights Miller. We don't know who Dylan Whyte's going to face. We don't know who Ortiz is going to face. We don't know who Fury's going to face. But whoever they face, let's see it. Let's talk about it. Until the next time, this your boy T-Dub. Please subscribe. Please share. Please like. Please tell a friend and tell a friend about a friend. It's your boy T-Dub. Here is what's blazing in sports.